self-serving, persuasive talkers
of everything and nothing.
We are conversation con artists. What's going on? It's your boy, Mr. On Point.
And I am Calamity Red.
And we at it again.
This is a song that doesn't end. Yes, it goes on and on, my friends. Some people started singing it, not knowing what it was. And they'll continue singing it forever just because this is the song.
Where in the world did that come from?
I have no idea.
You just had that in your spirit.
I just had it in my spirit. I had a moment.
Do you know what you just did to a bunch of people?
Yeah, y'all are gonna have this in your head for hours and hours and hours.
But those of you who know what it is.
That know what it is. If you're not an 80 baby or like earlier, then you probably like, what is she singing? Either way, you're showing your age. If you know what it is, you're showing your age. If you don't know what it is, you're showing your age. But yeah, I don't know. I was just in a this is a song that doesn't end mood. I don't know.
I said that was some outburst.
Yes, it was.
Well, I got some stuff to let you know. I want you to go to the website conversationconartists.com, where you can see all the articles that we're going to be talking about, and you can go to the left. It's a little envelope. Hover over it and you can leave us some feedback. You can subscribe to our newsletter, do whatever you want to do, but do that. Go to the website. You can find me at Twitter at Mr. Mister_on_point.
And I can be found at Red_Calamity. And also don't forget that we want you guys to send in letters. You can send them either on the website or you can send them to our Gmail, which is conversationconartists@gmail.com. And we actually have a couple of letters this week that we are going to answer. So yay.
Yep.
Both of them are kind of relationship-y questions. Let's see. We're going to call this guy Biz Marquis.
Okay.
And Biz Marquis writes, I've liked my friend Tanya for 3 years. When we met, we were both single, but to be honest, I was intimidated by her. She's bad. And instead of making a move, I somehow ended up becoming her friend. I guess I was playing the long game, but in the meantime, she ended up in a relationship. Now she's single again, and we're still just cool. Should I make a move? How do I get out of the friend zone? Oh, Biz. You want to go?
The friend zone is like quicksand. You can't get out of it by yourself, partner.
Okay, so here's my female take on this. Okay, 3 years. I just feel like if she was interested in you in 3 years, you would have gotten that vibe. Like, I'm not very like super direct with people, and I don't assume everybody likes me. Like, you gonna have to fucking say it, cause if you don't like tell me, I don't know. I don't do hints. Cause I'm not gonna walk around assuming that everybody likes me and everybody is attracted to me. So you have to be very direct with me. On the flip side of that, I am not very direct with people that I like, but I do feel like if I like somebody, you can tell. And if in 3 years, like if you still are feeling kind of like, I don't know if I should, say anything to her, then that means that you're not really feeling like this is going to be welcomed to me. Yeah. 3 years later, and you still just a friend, then that's what she wants you to be. Cause female, we'll let you know. I feel like we gonna let you know. There'll be some kind of way she gonna invite you over all the time, or she gonna like there'll be things like I don't know.
I think that women think that their hints are more obvious than they actually are.
Probably so, because that's usually how that shit works.
But that's the dynamic in society.
Yeah,
the males are supposed to be the aggressors, and the women, that's not their position necessarily. Mm-hmm. Not saying that it can't be. It's just traditionally men are the pursuers and the women sit back and wait. Traditionally,
and that's not to say that you can't be friends for 3 years with somebody and it can't turn into a relationship. But like I said, if 3 years later you still like, I'm in the friend zone and I don't know how to get out, you probably just gonna stay in the friend zone, Biz. Like I think
it's a matter of perception. I think that what his letter implies is that he went in looking for a relationship instead of a friendship. He went in from the beginning, from the jump, from, you know, just seeing her saying, I want a relationship with this person. You have to act on that. You can't just want a relationship with a person, not act on it, and be a friend down 3 years later. If you didn't act on it, then how does she know that you want to be in a relationship with her? Yeah. You know? So I think that's the difficult part when you say, I'm in the friend zone. Did you ever say, I want to be in a relationship with you, and it just never happened? Or did you not relay that, and it's just something you wanted internally, but she don't know nothing about it?
It sounds like it's something that he just wanted internally, because he was like talking about how he was intimidated by her because she was so bad and all of this. So, Biz, I'm just, you know, depending on how badly you want it, I would say, you know, just make, you know, try. But here's the problem with that. Let me just say this. Let me put this disclaimer out there. If you try and she's not interested, shit's gonna be awkward. So just, you have to decide whether or not you're willing to take that risk at this point. Are you willing to risk this friendship that you potentially risk? Because sometimes, I mean, y'all might be able to get past it and move on, or, you know, you might be so embarrassed that you just can't get past it. So you got to decide whether or not the risk is worth it. And if it is, just go ahead and stop sitting around. You're gonna be another 3 years, and she's gonna be married to somebody else.
I have a qualm with how the friend zone is used out here these days. You got women who saying stuff like, I put him in the friend zone.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that's in the friend zone interpreted properly.
I don't know. I don't like when people say they intentionally put somebody, you know what I'm saying? I feel like the friend zone is a thing that just happens. Yeah. I don't know that you should set out to like sit people in there. Like that ain't right. I don't think the friend zone can be used like that. Nah, it shouldn't be. I think the friend zone is a very specific thing. Yeah. It's not a guy that you just turn down from going out on a date with. That's not putting a man in the friend zone. That's just not being interested in somebody. I think the friend zone is a place where you know that this person is interested in you, male or female. You know that they have an attraction to you, and you use that attraction for some kind of gain. You know you're not going to get in a relationship with them. You keep them around as a friend, knowing that what they want will never happen with you, but you use it for, or I need rides, or I need, you know, some advice, or somebody to talk to, or I need somebody to go out with. You use a person knowing that that's what they want, and you never tell them that they can't have it explicitly. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think the friend zone is. I think you have to put a person in the friend zone intentionally. You know what I'm saying? From your side. You know what I'm saying? I think that another person can't be perceived as being in the friend zone, but as Biz is talking about, I don't think he ever really relayed that he wanted anything with her. And now looking back in hindsight, what he thought was potentially the possibility of being in a relationship is now him just being a friend. You know, which is why I named him Biz. Sorry.
A lot of this stuff got to be communicated explicitly.
Be direct. If you want something from somebody, tell them. Don't drop hints. And that's something that, again, I have to tell myself often, because I'm extremely, I don't want to say shy, because I feel like everybody listening is going to bust out laughing, because I know I don't present as a shy person, but I am when it comes to that. Like, I don't know. I never think anybody likes me ever. Like that. My always initial assumption is that he don't like me. Always. That's my go-to. But that's a whole nother conversation. So, Biz, hopefully that probably didn't help you at all, but you know, this is one of them situations where you either shit or get off the pot. It's my grandmother would say.
3 years down the road, if you are her friend, then it could be that she never knew you wanted to be in a relationship, and she don't look at you like that because she don't think you want to be in a relationship, and now y'all are just friends. What you're going to have to do is you're going to explicitly have to let her know that a relationship is something that you desire with her. And for better or for worse, either she been waiting for that and it's going to work out, or she don't look at you like that. You know, and you have to be okay with that.
Yeah, that's tough, man. Rejection
it's up to
sucks
you. You gotta do what
but
you
you
wanna
have
do.
to decide whether or not the risk is worth it. So
Would you rather be her friend for 30 years knowing that you didn't have the guts to let her know that you wanted to be in a relationship, or do you want to inquire about being in a relationship at the cost of potentially making the friendship awkward and possibly ending the friendship if that awkwardness is too much for you to maintain a friendship with?
yeah,
You gotta decide which one of those.
It's not like the best of
Yes.
choices either way.
All of the outcome, all of the things you have to do are shit.
Yep, basically.
But there is a good outcome from some of the things you can do. It's a good possibility. It's an outcome of a good possibility in doing some of those things.
Yeah. Let's do one more. I'm gonna call this person confused. Why do women say nothing when it's something and fine when everything isn't fine? Oh, confused.
Oh, confused. I don't know. You might as well take this one because
You don't know either?
I'm not a woman.
Okay. Well, I can only speak to the times that I've said that. Most of the time, if I say I'm fine and things aren't fine, or if I say nothing when it's something, it's because either one, I'm not ready at the moment to talk about it, or two, and I don't feel like you're gonna receive it, so I don't even want to go down that road and bother with having a conversation that I know isn't gonna turn out well, or I just don't want to talk to you. It's just easy to be like nothing, because I don't want to get into this shit with you, so nothing, it's fine, don't worry about it. I mean, that's usually me. I think now some women, I think it's a way of seeking attention, because if I say nothing, then you're gonna say no, I know it's something, and you're gonna try to get it out of me. It's a way for me to get attention from you. So that, me personally, that's not how I use it, but some women do. So it's gonna depend on the woman, I think. But most of the time, I would say it's because we don't feel like y'all are gonna be receptive of whatever the problem is, or you know what the problem is, and you just asking me this stupid ass question for no reason. So
I think women in these instances want to believe that the man knows the reason that they're mad.
Come on point. Sometimes y'all don't know. I will say that. But sometimes, if you know you done fucked up and done something.
But these ain't the times where the confusion comes in at. When you know you done messed up, it ain't no confusion. You know you done messed up. What we talking about is times when we don't know. So what is it? Like, a man know when he done messed up.
No, I mean, y'all try to...
So give me the example. Give me the example. Yeah, you always dragging me into this. What's the example of when a man done messed up and he don't know that you mad?
Let's see. Damn it, you had to have me give a scenario.
On the fly.
Press a cooker. Shit. Let's see. If we'd had a ton of conversations about me coming home and you didn't messed up the kitchen and you don't ever clean up behind yourself, and we've talked about this, like we've talked about this and we've talked about this, and I done told you like it annoys me, please stop doing that. If I come in and you done this shit again, and you ask, and you see my face, because I can't control my face, so I know I'm gonna be making a face, and you ask me what's wrong, I'm just gonna be like nothing, because you fucking already know. You know you went in there and cooked a 3-course meal and then washed not nan dish, like you know. I'm not gonna do this with you. Like I already talked to you about this. I already asked you to stop.
Well, the question
messing up my entire kitchen.
Then the question becomes, if I got 15 talks, then how do I know that that's where your anger is at that point instead of getting the 16th talk?
I'm not finna talk to you no 16th.
But what I'm saying is, you said I've talked about this, we talked about this, I let you know. At what point do I need to be for you to be that angry about it? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, well, she never get this angry about it. Usually she talk about it, but now.
But I talk about it and you don't rectify it. So what is the point? So what is the point of me having a 16th conversation with you?
Well, what I'm saying is, you would have to get mad that level every time for him to know that that's exactly why you mad. If you don't have that same reaction, then he's not going to think that, well, she completely shut down. That's not a common response to this thing that I know that she don't like.
It's about to be my common response to this, though.
Well, the first time you shut down need to be This is why I'm mad like this. You know, it don't need to be, you know why I'm mad. So what I'm saying is, I think that men don't really know in those times when it's not common.
So here's what's gonna happen if I say kitchen's dirty again. I asked you not to do this again, and yet here we are again. It's gonna either be an argument or you go blow it off and act like it's not that big of a deal. Because if you felt like it was big enough of a deal, you would have not done it again. Especially if we've talked about this already. So I'm just not gonna waste my time, and it ain't gonna be 15 times with me. Like, if I'd had a conversation with you the very next time you do this shit, like with a dog, as soon as a dog shits in the floor, you have to punt and let them know that this is what the problem is. You can't wait, hours and then try to punish the dog for something that he did. So the very next time you do this shit that we talked about and we agreed that we're not gonna do this anymore, it's gonna be a problem. Like, I'm not going to get an attitude the very first time before I talk to you about it. But if I've talked to you about it that very next time, it's going to be some issues.
Well, I think it's still, men do this too. This ain't exclusive to women, I guess.
Think women do it more.
Women do it more, definitely, but men do it too. I don't want to just make it exclusive to any, because I know people who have, males who have done that kind of thing, it's basically just a person shuts down. A person shuts down, don't want to have a conversation because they either know it's going to go somewhere, like you were saying, or they just don't feel it's going to be a resolution. But
so why bother?
That's still communication issues.
It is. And like I said, for me personally, if I've communicated how I felt and you aren't going to rectify it after I've given you a chance to, then the only decision I have, because you can't change people, right? I can't make you clean the kitchen. You're a grown man. I asked you to do it. If you don't do it, then my decision is this something that I can deal with? Is this something that I can put up with? If this person doesn't change this, because I've asked them to, if they're not going to change it, is this something that I can deal with and put up with? And if it's not, then I got to decide what I'm going to do from there. But there's nothing I'm going to be able to do outside of asking you to stop that's going to make you clean them dishes. Like, nothing.
Well, this is how these issues have been resolved for me. Because of my difficulty in emoting and my lack of affect, after she says fine, I'm like, all right. And I grab my Xbox controller and I'm playing the game.
Oh, that infuriates people.
I know it does. Not intentionally, but just because of how I am. I'm like, oh, she said fine. She must be fine. She said it. She's not a liar. She's always open with me. So fine must mean that she's okay. So I'm playing the game and it's like, that kitchen. And I'm like, see, you could have said that earlier. I would have got on it right away, ma'am. See, that's how I handle the situation.
So to answer your question, confused, we don't know for real. It depends on who you are dating and, her personality and, I think women across the board do it because women of different personalities do it and they do it for different reasons. But I think you just get to a point where it's like, you know what? I don't feel like doing this shit today. Not today. Or not right this second. I'm just going to say fine so he'll get off my back. I don't want to talk about this shit again. I don't want to do it. So forget it. I'm fine. It's fine. Everything's good.
See, I have a problem with it. Like, I want to communicate. I want to know what the issue is. You can be mad after you tell me what the issue is. I'm fine. After you let me know what the deal is, you can be mad for the next 4 hours if you want to. But I need to know what's going on. I'm not taking away the fact that you're angry. I'm not taking away that you don't want to deal with it right now. But if I did something that I can fix while you mad, just let me know and I'll fix it. That's from my perspective. Like, that's how I would do. Let me fix it, okay?
Clearly, you're willing to fix it. Not everybody is, and sometimes you already know that this person is. I mean, even if I say some shit, you're not gonna fix it. So, and again, at that point where it becomes, this person isn't going to stop doing something that bothers you, hurts you, whatever the case may be. Your decision then is it something that I can deal with? And if it's not, what do you do after that?
Yeah, I mean,
you're willing to. Not everybody is willing to rectify it,
and everything ain't in these contexts ain't necessarily fixable.
Yeah,
because if we talking about washing dishes, clearly I can go wash the dishes. Now, clearly, if
you punching me in my face every other day.
No, I mean,
okay, well that's the extreme. I went all the way to the side.
Something like, we saw your ex in the mall and you said hey. and just it, I said hey, and then we got home and you like, I'm fine. Now that's one of them things where it's like, all right, clearly this is gonna be a 8-hour Xbox situation. She is not coming around on this.
No.
So clearly it's some situations where it's not cut and dry.
It just depends. Again, that's why I said that was a very general last question. Like, we would have needed a more specific situation, I think, to give like a more solid answer, because it could be anything.
What do we know? Did we help anybody?
Shit, I don't know.
Look, my perspective is that there's just a multitude of variables when it comes to anything
no matter
that's
what
considering.
It is, so.
And there's a million ways to handle a million different things.
Yep.
So we just do some variables out there.
Basically.
Some possibilities.
So maybe that helps, just having some different perspectives on it. And you have a woman's perspective without asking your woman and getting yelled at. So there you go. If nothing else, we did that. So that is the only two that we have for this week. If you would like your question featured on the show, like I said, send it either on the website, which is conversationconartist.com, or you can send it directly to our Gmail account, which is conversationconartists@gmail.com.
Yep. So now we're going to get into some deliberate nonsense. I don't have that much stuff.
All right.
Today. The first one I'm going to talk about is Meryl Streep.
What did Meryl do?
She was on this panel for some film awards festival, and they asked her how does she feel about the lack of diversity on the panel, and she said, well, we're all originally from Africa. Like, that's the comment she made in reference to the diversity.
Bitch.
Meryl Streep, she old, ain't she?
She is old, but that ain't no excuse for what?
I mean, I wasn't using that as no excuse.
Oh, but no, she is old. She old as shit.
I don't think she that cute. You can say whatever you want and do whatever you want. Old to where don't nobody care about what you say.
I don't think if you're a celebrity, you get that privilege anyway.
I don't know, man. Because Bill Cosby, if he say something now, I'll be like, oh, he just so old.
Not now.
Well, I mean, he ain't raped nobody this year. I mean, clearly.
Not now. I think before all of this came out.
Let me choose somebody else.
Yeah, because he ain't no good example.
Who old?
Who's old?
Everybody old.
Everybody old.
All the old people I would use is dead.
Morgan Freeman.
I think Morgan Freeman gonna live forever.
Yeah. He been old forever.
He been old. Yeah, he been old since. I saw him in a movie from the 70s and he was old.
He been old forever. Yeah. Meryl, bitch, okay.
She ain't old like that.
She ain't old like that, and that was a stupid act. What does that have to do with anything?
I don't know. It's to me like those invalidation tactics. And it might not have been intentional.
Terrible one.
Yeah.
That was an awful one that didn't even make any sense.
It might not have been intentional, but it's still harmful. It's still one of those things that make people say, well, yeah, she got a point, Mm-hmm. But she don't want to be called African, though.
Oh, hell no. No, absolutely not.
Yeah, I bet she don't want that.
I know she don't want that. What? No.
What movies Meryl Streep played in?
Now, see.
You know any? Off the top of your head?
The Devil Wears Prada.
Devil Wears Prada. You probably got 10 movies at your house with Meryl Streep in.
Actually, I don't. I'm not that big of a Meryl Streep fan, so her fans don't get in my mentions, but I'm not that big of. I respect her as an actress, but I just The Devil Wears Prada. I can't really think of anything else off the top.
I mean, it ain't really much more depth to this story, no way. It's just she just said we all Africans, and amidst all of this controversy when it comes to Oscar So White and all of these different other events, you still got somebody who is ready to invalidate it, whether intentional or unintentional. But She could have said something better. I mean, with all of this stuff going on, I'm pretty sure a lot of these celebrities sit back and say, what will I say if they ask me about diversity?
Don't say nothing or give a very generalized ass answer that's safe. Like, if this is what you gonna come up with, what happened to PR teams? Like, they don't have PR people that help them anymore? Because they just be out here reckless now, just saying anything.
That's what I would imagine. I imagine that celebrities have a person that they call and say, hey, what are these people on these shows or on these panels or in these interviews likely to ask me?
It don't seem like they do it no more, because they just be out here saying whatever.
But I guess it's still relatively few people saying stuff that's questionable. And she's getting as much criticism from this. You know, she's not getting very much criticism from it because I don't think it was malicious. I don't think it was to invalidate. I just think it was just something that was unintentionally harmful to the movement and to what people are trying to accomplish by raising awareness of it.
But, okay, if it wasn't malicious, how could it have... So what was the intent?
Probably to downplay it. Make it seem like it's not really important. Make us seem more common than we are different. You know, in an attempt not to make it seem like it's actually divisive. But
it is.
I mean, it is. But this is just the dialogue. This is what the media does. They control the dialogue.
Yeah.
And if she believes in her head that this kind of dialogue will make it seem less divisive, or at least make her seem like she's not trying to be divisive with it, then I can see possibly where that could be coming from. But you shouldn't say anything that has the possibility of being interpreted closely to the opposite side of what you're trying to achieve either.
Nope.
You know, if you're trying to craft something to say that you don't want to be divisive, but it can possibly be perceived as something that will actually create division, then you shouldn't say that. You should call your PR team. They'll let you know. And
listen to them. Don't just call them and then say whatever you want to anyway.
Exactly. So that's all I got about Meryl Streep. I ain't got nothing else about her. The next thing I got is about Marshawn McCarroll.
You conspiracy theorist. Okay, I'm gonna hold off.
Marshawn McCarroll is a Black Lives Matter activist that committed suicide on the steps of some Capitol building in whatever state he lived in. I don't know where he lived, but after that, there has been just a lot of outcry, some mourning on the side of Black Lives Matter and people that knew him and friends. It's never pleasant when, you know, individuals take their own life. And then some controversy as to where an Ohio cop posted that he loves a happy ending and he was suspended.
I don't understand why it's so difficult for people to shut the fuck up. All it is you putting your lips together and not making noise. Like, that's so simple. And don't type shit.
Yeah,
keep your fingers.
don't type.
Don't these Twitter fingers. Stop it.
Just leave them alone.
Why would you say that? Why would you glorify or celebrate the loss of somebody's life? Like, that's okay? Like, that just... I don't understand people.
And that comment was at the cost of whatever good he might have done.
Yeah.
It don't matter what he's done for the community, which is a lot. It don't matter how rough his childhood was, which it was very rough. This cop, because he's connected to Black Lives Matter, was willing to erase any other thing that he's done about this person he don't know. He don't know anything about. And that's what I'm afraid that's happening with the Black Lives Matter. With listening to Fox News and listening to all these other outlets, they've just regarded it as an anti-cop movement. That's all. That is it. They have not identified and sought to understand the other nuances that come in this kind of movement.
I don't understand why it has to be anti anything. Like, you don't ever see when people are talking about breast cancer, you don't ever see the prostate cancer people come out, y'all are anti-prostate cancer. Like, you don't ever see... I just don't understand why in saying that Black Lives Matter, you shouldn't be killing us, that means that we're saying fuck the police. Like, I just don't understand why it has to be that way in this case.
I just think it's another version of controlling the dialogue.
That is exactly what it is.
Let's vilify these people. You know, I mean, propaganda started in the Reagan years. Like, Reagan started using the media to deliver to the people whatever messages he wanted the people to believe. And since that period of time, the media began to realize how much power it has. And now the media is used to deliver whatever you want to believe about a group of people. You pretty much have to actually be involved with these groups to understand what they really about and what the tenets of their movement really are. You got to be connected to the people. If you a black person, you got to know some Black Lives Matter people and talk to them. If you're a white person, you got to know some Black Lives Matter people and talk to them. If you don't, if you just listen to the news, if you just listen to the media, then it's going to completely skew your idea of what that is, and you're not going to know exactly what it is. And even online, it's even hard to go find a website that gives an accurate portrayal of whatever it is, because all of these things exist on scales. In the Black Lives Matter movement, yeah, it's some people out there that say kill police. And on the Black Lives Matter, the other side, they say, black folks need to change. But in the middle, what most people in those kind of movements represent are people who understand all of the complexities in the situation. That not every cop is bad. There are some good cops. There are some good systems. There are some systems that are flawed. There are some circumstances in which maybe force was necessary. And there are some situations where force was absolutely wrong and that person needs to suffer consequences from it. The most of the people in the middle understand all of the nuances, understand all of the context, and understand all of the variables. Maybe not all of them, but a lot of them are seeking to. But what the media does is it says, hey, this is Black Lives Matter, they all want to kill police. Or, hey, this is the people that believe black people should change, so let's bring Stacey down. They bring the extremes. They bring the extremes out to deliver those messages, to make either group believe what they want to believe. With Fox News, they bring the Stacey Dashes on to make white people believe that, black people just need to get it together and change. And other outlets bring over these, kill the police conservatives. And, well, I don't think you really see them in media outlets, but you see them on the news, on the news or the local news. You see them on the YouTube videos. You see them a lot of places to where that dialogue is being forced upon you, And I think with this situation, my fear as a mental health therapist is that there's a lot of conspiracy theorists out here that
I just roll my eyes so hard my head hurts now.
They would rather believe that there was some conspiracy or plan to kill this individual than because nobody saw him shoot himself and his body was just found. They would rather believe that this was a setup than this man might have been suffering from depression. And
the fact that you can more easily and more readily believe that, then this is somebody who had lost all hope and was dealing with some stuff that everybody wasn't aware of. It's sad to me, and it's part of the reason why a lot of people don't seek help. Yeah. Because we don't listen, and we're not willing to listen, and we judge them. And how dare you want to take your own life? That's selfish. How dare you be ungrateful for the life that you have? How dare you? Other people have it worse than you. And so when you do that, what you do is you silence them. Yeah.
People can suffer from things like depression while being a part of a cause, while being noble, while doing what they need to do to survive and to help the people that they care about and love in their community and their culture. They can be struggling with their own demons while all of that stuff is going on, and they can succumb to their own demons at the same time as well.
All it takes is 1 weak moment. Like, suicide is quick, and it's not something you can come back from. All it takes is 1 weak moment, and that's it. So it's not like, look at Robin Williams. Yeah. Robin Williams seemed like the happiest person. He was a comedian. He was getting ready to do a television show at the time of his death. Like, from the outside world and from outside appearances, he seemed to have everything anybody could ever want. But he was not happy, and he had not been happy for a very long time, and he didn't want to be here anymore, so he did something about it. Yeah. And you can't put how you feel about your own life, you cannot project that onto other people. And because you would never, get to that point, or you can't even say that you would never get to that point, because depression, You can say what you would and wouldn't do all day until you actually go through it, until you actually feel what it feels like. It's not just being sad. I think people have this misconception that it's like, well, just, you know, go for a walk, get some sunshine, like get out. That it's not. It's so much more than that. It's so much more than that.
And the truth of the matter is, if you've never experienced depression, you can't conceptualize the depths of sadness that someone with depression goes through. You can't envision it. The worst case scenario that you can think of in your mind doesn't even get to the pinnacle of what a person with depression suffers from. Because once depression starts to take over, because my perception of depression is that it's like it's something that slowly takes over you. Mm-hmm. It looks like you in the mirror. You think that all the thoughts are your own, but it's something that takes over your thoughts, and it tells you that you don't want to be around people. You're better off if you stay to yourself. Nobody likes you. Nobody wants to see you. Maybe it'll be better if you weren't here.
It would be better for the people around, like for people who think that they're being selfish. A lot of times they feel like they're helping family members because they'll be better off without me.
They feel like, and I know people who with depression who have calculated and came up with financial algorithms that said that my mom would be better off without me here. Mm-hmm. So at the point in time that they feel like they need to take their lives, usually they feel like other people in their life will be better off without them. So it's, from their perception, more selfless than selfish, but that's just the way that we look at it.
For anybody listening that is going through depression, or think you might be going through depression, or you've been sad and you can't shake it off, please go talk to somebody. Please go talk to somebody. Talk to a professional. If you don't have anybody in your life that's willing to listen, please, there are plenty of professionals out here who are, this is what we do. This is, what we choose to do when we want to help people. So please get help. Please talk to somebody.
Yep.
Because again, all it takes is one weak moment and you can't come back from that.
Okay. So move on to something different. Because,
I just made myself sad as shit.
I'm saying, like, god dang, I need to get a boost of happiness. But Amazon, the business, clearly not like the jungle, not the Amazon, just Amazon. They wrote a clause that asks developers not to use any of their game development software to create any life-changing systems unless the Department of Disease Control declares a zombie apocalypse.
What?
They wrote this in an official clause to the game developer or to the developers.
What?
I don't know.
I don't even.
Amazon has game development software that I guess could be used to create some life-saving technology, but they don't want any developers to use it.
Whoever wrote that clause needs to stop watching The Walking Dead. Like, you done got way
They
too
read
into
the
it.
Zombie Survival Guide.
You
They
done got
played Fallout.
way too into this shit. Like, you need to step away from the video games. Get off of, what is it, AMC? Please stop, because obviously you
Look.
too immersed.
For the sake of entertainment value, if there was a zombie apocalypse, Red, what would be your plan? What you gonna do?
If there was a zombie apocalypse?
Yes.
I ain't talking to nobody. I'm getting my shit. Would I take Kingston? Yeah, I'll take Kingston.
But how you seen I Am Legend?
Yes.
Would you be able to kill Kingston like that?
After he jumped on me that time, I probably would be able to. I just wouldn't trust people. Because here's the thing. I've watched Walking Dead, and you see that shit that happens. I don't even want to deal with that. I think I would just get him, and I would try to get to, like, the least zombie populated place possible.
Yeah.
And, do what I need to do to survive.
The scariest people in zombie movies, after the zombies, just be other people.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because you know we that survival mode and trying to take shit from each. I don't. Whoever wrote that needs to stop. Like, just please, no more, because you didn't went too far. Who writes that in a legal binding document?
Somebody silly. Somebody with an imagination. Somebody who probably got threatened to get fired.
Somebody who runs around singing "This is the song that doesn't end."
But I like stuff like that. I like when it comes to businesses. I like when I read about Google employees and that they got a big ball pit that they can go jump in and stuff. Like, I like that playful culture. I don't like those cultures that's just so strict. Yeah. And like, I worked at a Tex-Mex restaurant and it was a very, very open, very playful environment. And I worked at Chewy's. And I've worked at restaurants where it's just strict down to business. This what it make a difference. Yeah. It make a difference. Yeah. But I don't know what kind of environment and culture that Amazon have. That's the difference
obviously fun if they letting them do that. Shit.
I mean, that's the difference between this dude getting fired and everybody getting a good laugh.
That's true. That's true.
But that's all I got for deliberate nonsense. I ain't got nothing else.
All right, well, let's get into some unnatural selection. I just want to get this out of the way, and I want to be very careful. I want to talk about Beyonce and Formation, but I also don't want the Bayhive. Don't get in my mentions. So I feel like, first of all, if you don't know, I don't know how in the hell you couldn't know. The day before the Super Bowl, Beyonce released a song and a video called Formation, and the video has a lot of Black Lives Matter imagery, a lot of just Black pride imagery in the video. Now, I do feel like you have to take the video and discuss it separate from the song, because the song, I'm sorry, and again, don't get in my mention, but that shit does not match the video. The video is very, there's a scene in the video where there's this little black boy dancing in front of a line of SWAT police officers. He puts his hands up and the police officers put their hands up, and then they pan to a picture of some graffiti on the wall that says "Stop shooting us." So very powerful imagery in the video. But then as you're watching the video, you hearing shit like, "I got hot sauce in my bag" swag, and you're hearing, I take him to Red Lobster when he fucked me good. So I think you have to look at them separately, because that song does not match the video at all. But people got upset because, when she performed at the Super Bowl, her background dancers were dressed as sexy Black Panthers, because it was still a performance, so she had to still sex it up. But and so there were many white tears shed about this and how it was anti-police, and Rudy Giuliani, who used to be the mayor of New York, had something to say. Like, all of these people had shit to say. This correspondent on Fox, a conservative correspondent, decided to bring up the fact that, and this is what pisses me off, if you have a problem with Beyonce's song and the video, stick to that. But what she did was, good way to divide the races, and your husband was a drug dealer and sold crack to Black people. So like, what? So this is how you're going to defend your argument that this isn't good, that this is anti-police, by bashing her spouse for some shit that everybody, bitch, you're not telling us nothing we don't already know. Anybody who knows Jay-Z knows that he was a drug dealer. Like, that's common fucking knowledge, ma'am. You're not telling us anything that we did not know.
And what does that really even speak to? Because, your husband is probably a hedge fund manager that embezzled a bunch of money out of white people pockets, I mean, going tit for tat on somebody's past or whatever they did.
And Jay-Z ain't even had shit to do with it, is the thing. You bring him into this and he ain't got nothing to do with it.
Everybody just throwing stones.
And honestly, it was a good message. But I think the reason that white people are so upset about it is because of the reach that Beyonce has and the power. Because it wasn't, I mean, it was a good message, but it wasn't like this huge, you know, if the song had matched the video, that would have been more powerful in my opinion. But I think they're afraid of the reach that she has and what this could mean. Because people, you know, people go crazy when Beyonce released anything. And I think that's why they're so upset about it. Because truthfully, and there's nothing anti-police. Like, she did drown a police car. She did sink a police car. But no police were murdered. Nobody, no, there was no violence in her video at all. The lyrics to the damn song ain't even got nothing to do with the video, really. Because it's just... I mean, there's a couple of pro-black, like she says that she likes her Negro nose with the Jackson 5 nostril, so you know she's proud of her black features. So there was a couple of things in the song that were kind of pro-black, but for the most part, the song is a bunch of nonsense. I'm just gonna be honest.
Listen, man, Beyonce ain't stupid. She not stupid. Every bit of that is on purpose.
Oh yeah.
Okay, like Beyonce didn't mention much about anything cultural or social justice related in that song. Mm-mm. But the video was riddled with that stuff. You know, she's smart. She knows that she has to teeter on this line of appropriateness to maintain the status that she had. And that's just what she got to do. And a million black think pieces came out about being so critical of how much she didn't say about social justice and how the video don't match. And my problem is, you out here telling somebody, this is what we doing these days. We telling people that they need to do more and they can potentially lose what they have.
As you got nothing behind our computer with nothing to lose.
You got nothing to lose, and you telling Chris Rock not to go out here to the Oscars, and you telling Beyonce you need to say more, you need to do more. Well, that's not the way to get these people involved. Being overly critical of what you don't believe they did. Be supportive of what they have done.
And the thing is, people were pissed before this that her and Jay-Z hadn't come out and done anything. Oh, they don't care. Oh, they're not using their platform. And then when she does, it's not to your standard. So it's still a problem. It's not enough. I got a problem with how she did it. I mean, I'm not part of the Bayhive. Just say that. I do like some of Beyonce's music, but I do think people are giving her shit for no reason. But I will say this: I'm pretty sure Beyonce has no fucks to give. Like I don't think she cares, because
Beyonce don't care.
At the end of the day, this ain't gonna do shit. First of all, the song, when it comes for sale, it's gonna go through the roof. People are gonna buy it. All it's doing is giving her more publicity for that song and for the video, because everybody, conservatives, liberal, everybody has seen that damn video. Now, even if you just watched it to see what everybody was talking about, even if you just listened to the song to see what everybody was talking about, she has gotten a ton of publicity from this. Like, and the people who are fans of her, like shit, the lady who tried to drag Jay-Z, I guess she didn't know about Beyonce's fans and how they drug the shit out of her.
That's what they do.
You don't want to get on Beyonce's fans' bad side. They worse than Black Twitter. Like, just in general, like, her fans are worse than Black Twitter bad.
Devout group of people.
They are. So I don't know. I just think that I enjoyed the video. I'm not a fan of the song. Like I said, it's kind of there's too many beat changes, and I'm not a fan of the song. But I did like the video. I did like the imagery in the video. I did like the fact that she has so many black women of different colors, because I don't feel like my skin tone is represented a lot. So she had, beautiful women of different shades. Just, I like the video. Song, I mean, I could put it on mute and just watch the video. But
listen, black people. Listen. You listening? Okay. We don't need celebrities to move forward with our own convictions and our own movements. We don't need them. If their platforms, which most of the times their platforms force them to be politically correct, force them to be in a position where they don't want to lose the things that they can lose if they come out in full support of something that gets this much criticism, we don't need them. If you are sitting back waiting for the Jadas and the Will Smiths, for the Beyoncés and the Jay-Z's, for anybody with money, collateral, influence, and power, if you're waiting for them before you take your next step, then you might as well not even plan to take a step. If you're not taking those steps because you want to take them, because you believe in them, because that's what you think you need to do, there ain't no level of criticism that you can give Beyonce, Jay-Z, Will Smith, Jada, anybody. Ain't no level of criticism that you can give them that's valid. You need to follow what you believe in and what you want to do. We can do that stuff without them, without people, if they don't want to be a part of it. Anybody that don't want to be a part of progressing this culture, moving forward, using their influence, using their power, using whatever, not saying that Beyonce, Jay-Z, anybody's not doing that, but there are people who don't want to and who are not going to do that. If they don't want to, then we don't need them to do that. We can move forward without it. So just follow your own convictions.
Yep. And for the white people that are so mad, get out your feelings and get over it. It wasn't made for you. This, Beyonce got a whole discography of music that y'all been shaking y'all asses to and playing at weddings and da-da-da-da-da. This wasn't for you. It wasn't for you. This one song was not for you. This one video was not for you. So don't fucking watch it. Move on with your life. The next thing I have. Andrew Caldwell. You know who he is?
Andrew Caldwell.
Yes.
Sounds familiar.
I've been delivered.
Oh, that dude.
I don't like wimmenz no more. If you don't know, he went viral a couple of years ago because this church had a service and he got up and gave a testimony about the fact that he had been delivered from homosexuality, talking about he had been delivered, and there was like 1 million memes that were made.
His speech impediment. He had a speech impediment or something.
Terrible. And since then, he has went from he's been delivered from homosexuality to psych, I am still gay, and I've been sleeping with a bunch of celebrities, and I'm gonna tell y'all which ones, to no, psych, I was just playing, I'm not gay, I really have been delivered, to currently, apparently, he is a singer, I suppose. He has an album coming out March the 4th. That is entitled "Who Is Me to Judge?"
Who are me to judge?
Who are me to judge?
Yeah.
I don't really have anything to add to that. I just thought y'all should know.
I don't like men's no more.
That shit was so.
It was funny.
And everybody was taking him. And see, the reason why. I'm not going to get into religion and homosexuality, but religious people want so badly to believe that this is something that could just be removed from somebody. And so for him to come down, it's like, yes, we have an example. He very obviously, the outfit he had on was gay. I don't understand. But,
I mean, I really don't like how the church demonizes homosexuality and invalidates the evidence that shows the contrary of it being a choice. It's really no conclusive evidence either way.
Now you gonna have people in your mentions.
I mean, this is just what I believe. I mean, I'm an evidence logic based person. I have a problem with just believing what you want to believe because you want it to be true when there is evidence out there that says, hey, there's some stuff we need to look at. I'm not saying it ain't none of it conclusive, but there is stuff out there that says, hey, this is some stuff we might need to look at if we want to get an understanding. The problem is faith don't want to understand anything outside of the context of the Bible. And I get it. Being raised in a very religiously conservative household. Yeah. I get it.
I just feel like at some point you have to determine for yourself, because isn't that what religion and especially Christianity is all about, that you are responsible for how you live your life and the choices that you make and the things that you believe. I just feel like at some point you have to determine for yourself what your values are going to be. You have to determine for yourself how you're going to feel about certain things. Like, I don't want to get into a whole
I'm not sure that's what it's about. Because
supposed to be.
I mean, because realistically, your mama just gonna tell you till you die. This is what you need to do.
This is what you need to do.
And your pastor gonna tell you till you need to die. This is what you need to do. Yeah. Ain't nobody concerned about you figuring nothing out.
No, that's right.
This book tell you what you supposed to be doing, and if you don't do it, you going to hell. If you don't do it, your soul is gonna suffer from the eternal lake of fire.
Yes, that is true.
I like to believe that at some point they want you to critically analyze what you believe, why you believe it, how you believe it, so that you can be stronger in your faith rather than just playing follow the leader.
No, that's what they want you to do, is to follow the leader. But I'm talking about the way it's originally presented is that you are responsible for what you do in this life. And so what that means to me is, you get up to heaven, are you gonna say, well, the pastor told me to do this, or my mama, I've been believing this that this is what I was supposed to do the whole time because this is what I was told? Is that gonna be a valid excuse, or is it gonna be you at some point should have come to your own determination and decided for yourself what to do? Like, how much are we self-determining, or how much are we supposed to be self-determining?
I guess from that context, it don't really matter if you did everything the Bible say but don't know why. Or if you did everything the Bible say and you know exactly why.
But what if
you get in?
But see, the problem with the Bible, and again, I don't want to get in a whole religion conversation, but is that it's open for interpretation, and that different sects, even within Christianity, interpret it in different ways.
It's like almost 3,000 sects of Christianity.
Exactly. So how do you know which interpretation is going to be the correct one when you get up there? That's what I mean. Even if you follow it aimlessly and you don't know why, if what you're following is wrong, you're fucked. I just don't understand. Like,
I mean, I hope every religion's right. I hope all of them right.
I don't know how that could be true.
Well,
I mean, some of the basic tenets are the same throughout them, but like some of the big differences, somebody got to be wrong.
Well, if you go back and look, at the story about the Tower of Babel, in which all different cultures and groups of people were there, and they spoke tongues, and everybody could understand what that message was, and everybody went back to their respective cultures. I like to believe that the same message was just split amongst a bunch of people, and they chose these particular, influential people to follow, and it's all the same. I mean, I don't know. I want a best case scenario.
You always want to give everybody
I don't want one to be right and everybody else go to hell and suffer. I just don't like that.
You know what? I used to ask my mom. She used to get because my mom is very religious as well, and she used to get pissed. I used to ask her, like, if Christianity is right and we're doing right, then what happens to all the other people who, like the Buddhists, and what happens to people of different of religions that are not Christianity? And she said it's their responsibility at some point to become Christians.
How irrational is that?
And I was like, what?
My mama said the same thing. My mama said, this is what my mama said. She said everybody gets introduced to Christ at some point in their life, and they get to choose. And I said, well, that's not fair if a 50-year-old person who been Buddhist their whole life and get introduced to Christ, and you expect them to get rid of all their faith just because they got introduced to Jesus? Go on somewhere, mama. I ain't trying to hear that. That don't make sense.
I used to question stuff a lot. My mom used to get so mad at me because I didn't understand. Like, some stuff didn't make sense to me, and she didn't. Most of the time, her answer was because God said so. Because she didn't have an answer.
Man, I used to question so much stuff about the Bible. I asked the pastor one time. I was like, "Excuse me," it was like a Bible study session or something. I was like, "Excuse me." He said, "Yes, sir." I said, "If God showed His power so blatantly in the Bible days, for instance, the strength in Samson's hair, to the point that you can cut it off, like, it would seem like it would bring a lot more followers if a man can destroy a kingdom when he got dreadlocks, but when you cut him off, he can't even lift 200 on the bench." You know what I'm saying? I would look at him and say, that's supernatural. Like, why? And I was like, why did God show His power more back then than He does now? Brush me off. Didn't even answer my question. Piss me off. I like, he don't know either. Acting like he knows stuff.
Oh, they'll do that in a heart, or give you like some generic answer that makes no sense and doesn't answer your question because they don't have the answer. So, but the moral of the story is March the 4th. Be on the lookout for Andrew Caldwell.
I meant to make a whole nother point. Went all the way down that jump. I just hope that he, regardless of how condescending and vindictive it feels like I'm communicating about faith, it only represents my qualms and my own religious journey. I really truly value faith for everybody that has it.
I think everybody has a right to believe what they want to believe as long as it's not hurting nobody.
Yeah, like, I mean, I respect what you believe and how you believe it. And so I just really hope that this individual is not using the church and faith as a mockery to somehow put himself on a platform that's giving him the popularity that he's got.
I wish y'all could see this face that I'm making at him right now.
What?
You always try to give people the benefit of it. That's exactly what he's doing.
No, I mean,
he went from I've been delivered to I'm going to out all of these gay men or down low men back to I've been delivered and now I'm finna put out a gospel album.
What I'm saying is when he first made that testimony, it could very well have been genuine. It could very well have been what he felt to do, and it could very well have felt that the spirit was in him. And that video, when it got released, realized that he could do something with it. So I hope that it was at least genuine at first and not a mockery from the jump, because that kind of thing invalidates the importance of faith to other people when you use it like that.
I could very well walk out of here and go and buy a ticket for the Georgia lottery and win it, and I feel like the odds of both of those things being true are the same.
That's why I said I hope. I always leave room for a possibility to be wrong. I try not to speak in such conclusive extremes. I always try to give myself a chance to say, well, I did say I hope. I did say maybe.
Leave a loophole.
I did say potentially.
Gotta leave a loophole.
Then my work, I always say potentially, possibly, maybe, I hope, variables. I always say them 5 words. They just in my dialogue. They give me loopholes.
The last thing that I have is going to be Kanye West. I really, ever since his mama died, but I ain't gonna get back on that. So he has a song. I don't even know the name of this song. At this point, I don't listen to shit Kanye do. But apparently he has a song that has a lyric in the song about Taylor Swift. And you would think by now he would learn to just leave that white girl alone. But no, he hasn't. And the lyric is essentially, me and Taylor might still fuck, I think. And then he says he made her famous. Couple of things wrong with that, Kanye. First of all, you did not make Taylor Swift famous. Taylor Swift made herself famous, and she made you a social pariah there for a while. So don't really know what you're talking about. And you are a married man talking about having sex with some random little. I mean, I keep thinking of her because she was so young when she came out. She's of age now, but it's still just weird and kind of creepy that you would even say this. And he went on a Twitter rant because people were getting in his mentions about it. And he said that Taylor Swift was okay with it and that she actually came up with the line herself and that he discussed it with his wife and she was fine with it. Well, of course she was. You're married to Kim Kardashian.
There you go again.
Hey, I'm just saying. Of course she's not going to be upset about it. You know, it's not like he married to Michelle Obama and she was like, yeah, Kanye, that's cool, that's good. You married to... Anyway, I'm not going to get on her. I seriously doubt that Taylor Swift came up with a line in which Kanye West is going to talk about having sex with her when she tries to keep this squeaky clean ass image, and a line where she's saying that he made her famous. I'm sorry, I don't buy it. And I'm trying to think right before we started recording, I think she finally, or her publicist, released a statement. She didn't say that shit. And all her friends, everybody that's in her little crew has been like her brother threw away a pair of Yeezys why the fuck you own them shoes in the first place is beyond me. But he like made a video of himself throwing them in the trash, and there, you know, solidarity. And Kanye need to sit down. I just put your little stupid ass Waves album out, or he changed the name again. I think I don't even think it's Waves anymore.
Yeah, the story of Pablo.
What the fuck does that even mean? Who is Pablo? Is he Pablo?
Who knows? Who knows?
I can't. I don't understand.
Trying to put together Kanye is trying to put together a puzzle of clear blue sky. Okay? Why even do it? Don't worry about it. Just use Kanye for entertainment value. This stuff is entertaining. And
that's really where he's at right now. I don't even know that people are taking him like super serious as an artist anymore. Like, he's just a joke. Like, he's become a joke.
I'm going to listen to his album.
You let me know how
I'm going to like half of it, at least.
Because I didn't even listen to, what was his last one? With Black Skinhead and all of that shit on it. I have never heard.
Right? Yeah,
I think so. I ain't never heard that album. I ain't listened to a Kanye West album, honestly, since Graduation.
I've listened to some Kanye West tracks.
Oh, the College Dropout?
Since his mom passed away. College Dropout, Graduation. Wait a minute. College Dropout.
Or was it Graduation then College Dropout?
No, College Dropout was the first one.
Okay.
Then Late Registration.
Okay.
Then Graduation.
Those 3 albums, only 3 albums. Because I didn't like 808 Heartbreaks.
I didn't like anything. I haven't liked anything after his mama passed away as a whole work of art. But that's just me.
Sit the fuck down, Kanye. That's really, please stop this. Like, get some help. He obviously is suffering and is just, it's like a child that doesn't know what to do with these emotions, so they just act out in school, and you just be wondering, why the fuck is Billy doing all of this stuff and getting in trouble all the time? I feel like that's Kanye's just acting out. Like, he never dealt with his mom's death healthily. I mean, he drinking Hennessy on the red carpet with Amber Rose is not dealing with her death. And I think that this is what happens, people. Grieve. Please grieve. Take that time, do what you need to do. And the people who we love are worth the grieving, so grieve them so that you don't become Kanye. Let this be a lesson.
Kanye West is a narcissist.
He is that too.
He was a narcissist before his mama died. He's a narcissist now with the modifier of grief. Yeah. But what happens is when you give a narcissist, a person that legitimately believes the world revolves around them and that they're the best at everything and that they're amazing and that nobody else really contributes anything to anything and they contribute everything to everything, when you give that person, when that person is actually successful, then you create a Kanye. Because if Kanye West was not Kanye West, if he was a narcissist that worked at a warehouse and he thought that his mediocre numbers were amazing and he thought he was the best, he would be getting fired. He would be going from job to job to job, trying to wonder why people can't recognize how great of a warehouse worker that he is. Because narcissists are off-putting and they don't necessarily always have the exact version of reality that everybody else has.
They are. Have you ever met like a real narcissist?
I met some narcissists.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
They're some of the most annoying. Like,
narcissism lies on a scale as anything else lies on a scale. You get some that are very, very, just far more narcissistic than.
The DSM lists 9 characteristics. And they have to have 5 of the 9 to get a diagnosis of narcissism. I met somebody that had all 9 and attempted to work with him. And that was the worst. Like, it's really not much because they don't feel like they have a problem. So it's not much. Usually if they even seek help, it's a non-related issue.
You know, like, narcissism is rooted in that childhood stage of egocentrism, right? Where a child believes that if they standing in front of the TV in front of you and you can't see it, they believe that you can see the TV because they can, you know? Or they standing in front of the air conditioner. It's like, well, I can feel the air, so this is all, I'm, you know, everybody else can feel it, or nobody else matters. I just think that, you know, it's just that ego is so powerful and strong within that person that They just have a warped view of reality, and I feel like Kanye has a warped view
he does.
of reality from the life he lives. But I mean, a great life, clearly, as great as he wanted to be.
But imagine what that's gonna mean. I just feel so bad for North and Saint. I don't know what that childhood, like what is that going, what are they gonna produce? Like, not even in what they look like, what kind of personalities are this situation, these circumstances going to produce in these kids? Like, that's scary.
I think it depends. I think the one variable that we don't have about celebrities are who they are behind closed doors.
Well, I feel like we have more of a look at that now because of social media than we ever had before.
But I don't think I think that celebrities portray who they want us to see. You know, and I know that Kim Kardashian and Kanye West and a bunch of folks out there, they have their personalities, but I don't think we know necessarily, do they spend time with their kids or do they sit them with the nanny? We don't know.
I mean, I feel like even if they spend time, it's like, even if you're spending time with the kids, what are you doing with them during that time? What are you teaching them? What are they learning from you? Even if you're around, I mean, you've seen people who were around their parents all the time and still turned out, you know, not so great because what they were being taught while they were around their parents wasn't
quality
good.
Versus quantity.
Yeah. So,
but that's what I'm saying. How much of a narcissist? I don't know. Because
narcissism, he's not
gonna be red carpet Kanye in front of Saint and North. He's just not. He gonna be some version of a narcissist as a parent, but
a narcissistic parent though isn't gonna give the child, because it's so hard for them to go beyond themselves. I mean, I would never say he doesn't love his kids or doesn't give his kids attention, but I just think
he ain't gonna be like Saint and North. I know y'all hungry, but let me finish eating first, and then I'll feed y'all. I don't think it's like that.
No, but
you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I worked with a narcissistic parent, and he is basically creating another narcissist. Like, the child is perfect and good and great, and so the child is going, and it begins that way with a lot of them. Either they didn't get enough attention, or they got so much and they got implanted in their head that they're so special and they're so wonderful. And he's doing this with his child currently. Like, she can't do any wrong. She's perfect. If anything goes wrong, it's other people. It isn't her, because she's his child. And so by an extension of him, that perfection goes to her because she got it from him. And so he's creating another little narcissist, essentially, who's it's gonna be a cycle of dysfunction. In that case, I don't know what Kanye and his wife are doing. I can't say for sure, but what, you laughing because I didn't say her name?
No. It's clearly, I'm just saying, it's clearly not going to be a regular upbringing. Mm-mm. Just the component of wealth alone, for most kids is a situation, you know. But I don't think he's gonna be red carpet Hennessy Kanye out there with his kids. I just don't know what it's gonna be. I don't think
it's that bad. I mean, I'm not saying that he's gonna treat his kids the way he treats Taylor Swift or the way he tried to treat Sway, because Sway was gonna get in his ass. But I don't know how healthy he's capable of actually being for them. Like, even his best, I don't know how healthy his best is gonna be with the kids, considering how crazy he is. Like, I don't think he would maliciously do anything to them, but most parents don't.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but that's all I have.
All right. What else you got on your mind?
Lamb chops, play along.
Oh my goodness.
To play along. And fun things are all we ever do.
That wasn't right.
It was. Lamb chops, play along, where kids come to play along, and fun things are all we ever do. Yeah, it's lamb chops, play along.
Where kids
Join
come
the kids
and play along. We got a lot of good things for you.
That's the second verse.
It's two. I didn't.
It's two. It's two different ones. So it's lamb chops, play along, where kids come to play along, and fun things all we ever do. Yeah, it's lamb chops, play along, join the kids and play along. We got a lot of good stuff for you.
And you.
And you.
And you.
Yep. Don't look. I know lamb chops.
Apparently, lamb chop was creepy.
What? Her Charlie Horse, Hush Puppy. That was like my favorite kids show. That and Schoolhouse Rocks. I have. If only reason I don't have lamb chops is because they haven't made a DVD of it. But I have every single Schoolhouse Rocks episode that was ever made. Like I have the collection.
I felt deceived by Schoolhouse Rock when I realized they was trying to teach me stuff. I thought it was just catchy cartoon songs.
I know the preamble to the United States Constitution still because of Schoolhouse Rock. Schoolhouse Rock and Lamb Chop. I was never a big Barney fan because all of that. Even as a kid, I wasn't like really,
which one I remember,
emotional or what. So like all that I love you shit, I wasn't really here for it. But Lamb Chop, Sesame Street, and Schoolhouse Rock, that was my shit. I watched those three.
Lolly, get your adverbs here.
Got a lot of something, get your adverbs here.
I remember some of them. And
you know what? You gotta remember Bill. I'm just a Bill.
My grandma didn't have that.
I'm only a Bill.
I've seen it on on PBS on one time,
that
but
was like the
I
most
didn't have it.
One. Like they do a countdown on the DVD, and I'm probably gonna watch this shit when I get home.
My grandma and my mama wouldn't really let us watch TV like that when we were little.
But
my grandma
Rocks was for kids.
My grandma always recorded everything on VHS and let us watch whatever she recorded. She never let us just watch. She never let us freestyle on TV.
We could watch anything that came on PBS, and all of that came on PBS at the time. My mom like watched what we watched. I mean, she was careful about what we watched, but yeah, I watched school, as it was coming out. And I used to love lamb chops, man. Like there was I still count like 1 locomotive, 2 locomotives. She taught you how many between a second.
Yeah.
3 locomotive, 4. I could sing so many lamb chops.
See, my grandma and granddaddy were teachers. They wouldn't let us watch TV. They had us in there doing English work on Saturdays.
But you would have got your English shit from from school.
You think as an English teacher she'd know that, but she had us doing them other books.
Verbs. There was science one. If y'all don't know, please YouTube Schoolhouse Rock. There was everything. Like there was political science stuff because you had the Constitution stuff. Just everything. They had every math. It was one for every the multiplication tables. One for each one of them.
Yeah.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70.
They don't even do math like that no more. They do math different now though.
100, ready or not. Here I come. I can see
some of that stuff is different.
They do that. What the fuck is it called?
They don't let kids memorize math. Memorize multiplication no more.
What is it called? Something math. Shit. Cause some of the kids that I work with be complaining about that shit. They make them break it down. Like it's so ridiculous. I don't have any kids. If I ever have any kids, they're gonna have to get a tutor for math. Cause I already sucked at math, like regular math. This shit here,
it ain't that difficult. It's just so far different from what we do that.
Well, I send my kids your way and let you handle it.
It ain't difficult. Because I was telling people, I'm like, give me 8 times 8. I know what that is. Give me, if you go past 12 times 12, it's about a wrap for me.
144.
Cause but hit me with 14 times 15. I don't know. They made us memorize up to 12 times 12.
Yeah.
However, I hadn't seen no deficiency in my life that is created.
No, and if I sit down with pen and paper, I can multiply 14 times 15. I just can't do it in my head. Like I could still get the answer without the memorization. But I remember in the 5th grade, my 5th grade teacher, Miss Trust, would come, we would be just sitting in class. We would be doing history or some shit. And she would just come by your desk and hit your desk and be like, 5 timetables right now. You have to stand up in front of the class and say 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 2 is 6. Like random. You didn't even know what number she was gonna give you. She just hit the next person's desk. 7 timetables now, and you just had to get up and do it. That shit was so, and you didn't know when she was gonna do it. You'll be talking about fucking amoebas and atoms, and she would just randomly come around and be like 8 timetables now.
Dang.
But I know all of my timetables still.
Well, I didn't have that teacher, but I know all my times tables as well.
Man, Miss Truss and Miss Swan, they were old school. Because I'm from the country, and this was during the 90s. So they were old school, and it was during a time where teachers could still jack you up, and your parents would just beat your ass because why she had to jack you up in the first place, kind of thing, instead of going to the school. Don't touch my child. Yeah. And Miss Swain and Miss Truss, I witnessed Miss Swain jacking somebody up out of it. I did not fuck with her because I knew better. Because she did not care at all. She would embarrass you. 6th grade, we had to line up outside her door with your homework, and you didn't get in the classroom till you showed it to her. And if you didn't do your homework, you couldn't go to PE. You just sit in the room and have to write shit.
I don't remember many black teachers in mine.
They were the only 2 in the elementary. Because I went to, again, I'm from the country, K through 12. So, my friends from high school have been my friends since, kindergarten in some cases. I've known these people since we were 5 in some cases. So, because it's a country ass place. So,
yeah.
But yeah, so I'm just feeling nostalgic, and now I'm gonna go home and watch Schoolhouse Rock like a child when I leave here.
You should.
I hope everybody has This Is a Song That Never Ends stuck in their head now.
I'm sure they do.
And
those
I just reminded
over 25.
And I just reminded you again in case you forgot that I started the show off with it. So there you go. You're welcome.
Yeah, she did that to you. Remember that. It wasn't me.
Don't get in my mentions.
Well, anything else?
I think that about does it.
All right. Until we come to the next convo.
We out.
Holla.